Uh, TC01, can you, TC0101, can you please request your other participant to join the meeting?
Dikshita, there are some voice cracks from your side. Could you please fix them?
Am I audible now?
Yes, it's better.
Hello. TC0101, can you please request your teammate to join?
Yes, I'm doing that. She's just joining in a bit.
Good evening, everyone. We will be beginning shortly. We're just waiting for one of our judges to join. So, thank you for your patience. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you. that conversation. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Hi, you're not audible.
Am I audible now? No.
No, you're not yet audible. We apologize for the delay. There are some connection issues we are trying to fix. We will get back shortly.
Can someone please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Hello. First of all, apologies to everyone for the inconvenience caused, and I request everyone to please turn on your cameras. Alright. So, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to the final round of the MLRC-WICCI Elocution Competition 2025, hosted by the Maharashtra Legal Rights Consortium under the proud support of the National Legal Rights Consortium and WICCI. Today, we gather here not just to witness a competition, but to honor the power of words, the courage to question, and the responsibility to shape thought. As the saying goes, words are, in my not so humble opinion, our most inexhaustible source of magic. These words from J.K. Rowling reminds us that what we say, we can build, break, liberate, or heal. Over the past 2 days, we have heard voices from across councils, each one bringing their perspective, research, conviction, and compassion to the sensitive yet crucial discourse surrounding the NPP Act in India. This competition was envisioned not just as a test of eloquence, but as a platform to engage deeply with the constitutional safeguards, women autonomy, and the ever-evolving landscape of reproductive rights in India. It's my privilege now to introduce the distinguished judges for the today's final round, two remarkable minds who stand at the intersection of law, rights, ethics, and real-world advocacy. First, we have Ms. Shwetali Vijay Kohli, an advocate and PhD researcher in women's rights at Bharatiya Vidyapeeth New Law College, with an LLM in Constitutional and Administrative Law from MNLU Mumbai. She brings rigorous academic insight combined with her strong experience in presenting papers and volunteering in the legal field. Her research work shines a light on the overlooked stories of women behind bars, and her dedication to championing rights inspires us all. Next, we have Ms. Sai Tanushya, a legal professional with a sharp focus on medical law, bioethics, and healthcare regulation. An alumna of the University of Edinburgh Law School, she has worked on pressing issues at the crossroads of public health and reproductive rights, blending global learning with her impactful work at Agra Legal, Bengaluru. Thank you both for joining us today and for lending your wisdom to this decisive final stage. Today's topic for the final round pushes the debate to its deepest core: constitutional implications of prioritizing a woman's right to choose over the rights of the unborn. At the heart of this topic lies the delicate balancing act between personal liberty and moral responsibility, between autonomy and ethics, between the letter of the law and the conscience of society. To quote Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the decision whether or not to bear a child is central to a woman's life, to her well-being and dignity. When the government controls that decision for her, she's been treated as less than a fully adult human responsible for her own choices. Our finalists today stand not just to speak, but to stir thought, challenge assumptions, and uphold the tradition of informed dissent that our Constitution so boldly protects. A quick reminder to all our participants: please stay muted unless called upon. Speak within the 8-minute time limit with respect to both the judges and fellow speakers. Maintain your team code as your name on screen. Keep cameras on, mics clear, and your presence formal. After your turn, kindly exit and rejoin the final closing segment when called upon, and when we thank our judges and bring this incredible journey to a close. And with that, let us step into this final stretch with open minds and stronger voices. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. So, speak up, speak strong, and make every word count. Thank you. Let's begin the final round of the NLRC-WICCI Elocution Competition 2025. Now I request TC01 to stay back and TC02 to please leave the meeting and wait for the message to be called upon. Thank you. With the TC01, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
With the permission of both our judges, can we begin this round?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes.
All right. On the count of 3 to 1, please begin your speeches. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, has any country ever criminalized or punished any person for being a non-vegetarian? No, obviously not, because that sounds absurd. Because it's a choice. You're free to eat whatever you like. Now imagine being denied the same freedom when it comes to your own body. Imagine being told that your body is not yours, that your freedom to choose must be debated and legislated. That is not dignity, that is not freedom. That is what millions of women face when they are denied the right to choose. Abortion is not a moral failing, it is healthcare. And above all, it is a fundamental right. Greetings to the honorable judges. I am Speaker 01 of TC01, speaking on the topic constitutional implications of prioritizing a woman's right to choose over the rights of the unborn. My first argument in this regard is the lack of equality in defining the beneficiaries under the Act. Though the Honorable Court in X versus Principal Health Secretary, a case of 2022, used the rule of purposive interpretation and held that by replacing the phrase married woman or her husband with any woman or her partner shows the true intent of the legislature to extend the scope of Section 3 to all women, whether married or unmarried. But let's take another perspective. We talk about the right of equality given by Article 14, part of the Golden Triangle. Then how come has a significant community of people who can get pregnant, such as the transgenders, left out of this beneficial legislation? Including married and unmarried women is definitely a step forward, but including all people who can get pregnant under the MTP is true equality. The Supreme Court in Suprio versus Union of India has already recognized the right of people of any sexual orientation to cohabit. It is only logical that all people who can get pregnant must be covered under the legislation. And this calls for a broader interpretation by the judiciary. Well, secondly, criminalizing abortion would not reduce abortions. Restricting access to abortion does not reduce the number of abortions. It only increases the number of unsafe abortions. This is the data from World Health Organization. Let's say we did criminalize abortion. It would in no way reduce abortions, but in fact lead to an increase in illegal and unsafe abortions, which could, as a cascading effect, be a threat to the pregnant person's life. Now think about whether a person already on this earth must also die just because they made a choice about their own body. The Supreme Court has time and again in Suchita Srivastav, K.S. Puttaswamy, X versus Principal Health Secretary, and Navteej Singh Johar repeatedly held that bodily autonomy is a fundamental right under Article 21. Thus, safe abortion actually saves life. Well, another deterrent is the breach of privacy in abortion cases. Privacy includes the preservation of personal intimacies, sanctity of family life, marriage, procreation, and sexual orientation. This is a quote from K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India, which laid down that privacy is a fundamental right under Article 21. In a closely knit community like ours, the mere act of entering an abortion clinic invites scrutiny. The situation is worse when the clinic staff compromises confidentiality. Though the MTP provides in Section 5A that no registered medical practitioner shall reveal the name of women or any particulars of the women who have been gone under the termination under this act, that is not followed in real life. The problem is not the law, but the implementation. This can be countered by having judicial guidelines on privacy in abortion clinics. It is of the utmost importance that a registered medical practitioner are trained not only in medicine but also how to navigate such a sensitive situation or to offer unbiased care. Lastly, we come to the legal and procedural hurdles. In 2023, the Supreme Court was dealing with the case of terminating a 26-week-old pregnancy of a rape survivor. While MTP prescribes one doctor for abortions till 20 weeks, for those between 20 to 24 weeks, termination is allowed in 7 exceptional cases, such as rape, women with disabilities, etc., on the advice of 2 medical registered practitioners. However, after 24 weeks of pregnancy, the law requires a medical board to be set up, the decision of which is appealable under Article 32. Well, this is important. It dismisses that the fact that pregnancy is a time-sensitive issue and the delay of even a week is detrimental. The Supreme Court in Hussainera Khatun versus Union of Bihar said that speedy justice is a fundamental right under Article 21. It is a known fact that legal procedure in India is time consuming. In such a case, a fast track court and reducing procedural delay in abortion cases is a need of the hour. With that, I'll pass on the baton to the next speaker. Thank you.
Building on my teammates' powerful points, I wish to take this discussion one step deeper. Imagine a 19-year-old girl terrified of her family's honor standing at a pharmacy counter risking her life because she fears judgment at a hospital. Her story is not rare, it is the story of millions. Good afternoon to each one of you connected herein. In a developing country, every 8 minutes a woman dies from unsafe abortion. And the saddest truth, most of these deaths are avoidable if the law would have truly trusted her. At the heart of this competition lies a question that tests our values, our constitution, and our courage as a society. In the eyes of law, a woman is a citizen and the unborn child is a possibility. So when both of the rights collide, whom must the Constitution protect first? The Constitution of India is only as alive as the freedoms it protects and as silent as the freedoms it ignores. Article 21 of the Constitution, of course, protects life and dignity, but it does not the directive principle of state policy, in fact, does not remain silent on this. It gives a gentle reminder that rights must mean reality. With due respect of the judges, I ask for 1 minute extension.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, guys. So, Article 39 directs the state to ensure the health and strength of the women are not abused, so that childhood and motherhood are protected. Article 47 places a duty on state to raise the level of nutrition. Yet, unsafe abortions remain the third leading cause of maternal deaths in India. So, what are we really protecting? The lies or the hypocrisy? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar once said, I measure the progress of the society by the degree of the progress which women have achieved. Ambedkar dreamed of a constitution that not just gave the women the vote, but gave them the right to stand equal, to decide equal, and live equal. A forced pregnancy destroys that promise. So, what is the real enemy? The stigma, the silence, and the unsafe abortions. History proves that bans does not stop abortions; they just make them unsafe. In fact, WHO says 13% of maternal deaths worldwide are caused due to unsafe abortion. So, what can be done? What can be the true constitutional protection? We need to have accessible, safe abortion that are not just hidden. We need to have gender neutral laws because trans men and non binary people can get pregnant too. We need to have confidentiality so that young girls' privacy is not traded for punishment. We need to have sex education because ignorance traps women in silence. We need a system that trusts women to decide and not men to dictate. Let us remember when we trust a woman to choose, we honor her life, her dignity, and the constitution we all stand to protect. May we never forget the heartbeat of our constitution is the freedom to decide. And every woman deserves that freedom without fear, without shame, and without apology. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, TC01. You may please lead the meeting.
Thank you, judges. It's what an honor.
I
Thank
just
you.
have
It was
one
great honor speaking.
to the committee. Do we give them the feedback now or like at the end of team two as well?
Ma'am, it's all after the both the teams have spoken.
Okay, got it.
Ma'am, do you require some time to mark them or do we call upon the other team?
I've
Yeah, I
actually
would
marked.
like 1 minute.
Sure,
All
go
right.
ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like when you send me the mail, I saw there's a sub theme stating constitutional implications of prioritizing women's rights over rights of unborn. So, I have you told the participants that for the final round they have to emphasize on this?
Yes, ma'am. So this is the topic for the final round.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Hi, actually, I'm done marking, so you may proceed.
Okay, ma'am. We'll be following in the team. Are the participants from TC02 present?
Yes.
All right. So, with the permission of the judges, we will begin the start.
We begin with a question that is as unsettling as it is urgent. When two rights appear to collide, whose right should be constitution protect first? The fully conscious woman or the fetus that is yet to become a person? Let us take pause for a moment and imagine. Imagine being told that your future, your health, your voice must be set aside not for someone living, breathing, or feeling, but for a life that exists only in potential. That crucial dilemma many Indian women face when their will to choose meets legal hesitation. Now let us turn to the law. The Indian Constitution guarantees certain fundamental rights to life, liberty, equality, and privacy. And these rights under Article 14 and 21 are guaranteed to persons, not potential persons. A fetus, while deserving of medical concern, is not recognized as a legal person under the Constitution, but the woman is. She is a citizen, living, thinking, feeling with rights that are real and present. In Shuchita Srivastava versus Chandigarh administration, the Supreme Court held that a woman's reproductive choice is a part of her personal liberty under Article 21. In Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India, the court reaffirmed that privacy, including intimate decisions like pregnancy, is a fundamental right. So, constitutionally, prioritizing a woman's right to choose is not justice, it is required. Let me clear this is not about devaluing unborn life. This is about recognizing the life that bears consequences. Because when we say protect life, yes, we start with the one already living it. When we say every heartbeat matters, yes, but don't ignore the one breaking in fear. If we give our more importance to the unborn born than to the woman herself, we reduce her to a vessel, robbing her of dignity, autonomy, and choice. And the Constitution does not allow that. That is not a battle between morality and law. It is a call for justice for women that the give right decide their own future, because to force motherhood is not compassion, it is coercion. And rights mean nothing if they don't apply when it matters most. So when we prioritize a woman's right to choose, we are not choosing against life, we are choosing to respect it, to respect her voice, her body, her constitutionally protected freedom, because in a democracy, rights are not given to the silent future, they are given to the living present, and that living present is a woman. Thank you.
I am blessed and sacred to be capable of creating miracles that outlive me. But I am also a soul who seeks discovery, pleasure, and glee. I live within the institutions built by men who doesn't care about the beat of my heart but that of a group of cells. I fight for my reproductive justice for when my body follows instruction, because my well-being goes beyond that of a choice. It spans through the community, and the spirituality is my strength. My independence is what allows me to fly. My body is what allows me to thrive. Reproductive justice is what enables me to live, because abortion is self-care. With this, a very pleasant evening to the respected judges, to the organizers and dear colleagues. Today, I, Speaker 2 of TC02, stand here to speak on a matter that strikes the very heart of a constitutional morality, which is balancing the rights of a woman to choose against the rights of our unborn. In this clash of rights, we stand at constitutional crossroads. On one hand, we have Article 21 of the Indian Constitution that enshrines the right to life and personal liberty. The Honorable Supreme Court has extensively interpreted this article to include reproductive autonomy, which is a woman's freedom to make intimate decisions about her body, dignity, and future. And on other hand, exists a moral and legal query of whether an unborn child possesses independent rights deserving of a constitutional protection. Let us remember that the cornerstone of our constitution is its guarantee of individual autonomy and freedom from arbitrary state interference. If we subordinate a woman's decisional autonomy to fatal interest without any kind of compelling reasons, we risk eroding the very fabric of personal liberty which has been guaranteed to us under Article 21. In landmark cases, as rightly pointed out by my teammates, such as that of Suchita Srivastava versus Chandigarh Administration, year 2019, Supreme Court held that right to reproductive autonomy also includes right to carry a pregnancy, which now is upon the discretion of the mother whether to keep the child or not. No person, not even the state, can forcibly dictate the most intimate matters of a woman's physical integrity. This principle echoes the doctrine of bodily integrity, which is enshrined in the constitutional jurisprudence. Yet, some people continue to argue that unborn also deserves recognition. While it is true to a certain extent that state has a legitimate interest in protecting the potential life, but the Supreme Court in the case of X versus Principal Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, year 2022, held that unborn does not have the same legal status as that of a born person. Therefore, the fetus cannot automatically override the rights of the person in whose body it resides. Our constitutional scheme from its very inception has been crystal clear that right to life under Article 21 begins at birth. And also, personal liberty does not always restrict to a mere bodily existence, but it includes every kind of decision we need to make to exercise that autonomy over our own bodies. To prioritize a woman's choice, then, is not to disregard life, but to respect liberty and dignity of those who already live, breathe, and contribute to the society. Further, the Supreme Court in the landmark case of K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India 2017, also known as the privacy judgment, held that decisional privacy over reproductive choices is intrinsic to personal liberty. The doctrine of proportionality also requires the same to balance the interest of right as that to the law. Legally speaking, if the fetus were to grant co-equal rights, there would be an irreconcilable conflict between the two separate constitutional persons, an impossible legal proposition. If I could get an extension of 1 minute, I would like to conclude my speech.
Sure, please go ahead.
Because the fetus is not recognized as a full-fledged right holder under the Indian law. Therefore, constitutionally speaking, prioritizing the woman's right to choose is not just desirable, it is imperative. Right to reproductive autonomy safeguards women from patriarchal and coercive structures, giving them agencies over their own destinies. In this grand narrative of constitutional rights, the living, breathing, thinking women deserves primacy. Therefore, let us honor her constitutional personhood, her decisional sovereignty, and her fundamental dignity, even as we continue to grapple the moral wrath of the nascent life. Thank you, and it was an honor speaking before the judges.
Thank you, TCGA. I request you to please leave the meeting. Ma'am, do we need a few minutes to mark the participants and then we can begin with the closing remarks and feedback? PCPO2, can you please request your period to join the meeting?
Yes, she's just joining in a moment.
Good evening, everyone, once again, present here. As we draw this remarkable journey to its conclusion, I'd like to first say today we did not just hear arguments, we heard courage, we heard resilience, we heard what happens when young voices speak, not only with the conviction, but with a deep sense of responsibility to the society they wish to serve. Throughout this competition, from the preliminary round on cultural taboos to the semi-finals on judicial intervention in late-term abortions, and now to this thought-provoking final, you all have reminded us that true advocacy begins with informed dialogue. As Margaret Atwood once wrote, a word after a word is power. Today, each of you has added uh, power to this discourse, and we as an audience are better for it. At this point, it is my absolute privilege to invite our esteemed judges to share their reflections and feedback. Svetali and Saiman, we thank you for your patient listening, insightful notes, and your dedication to encouraging these young speakers. May I now request Saiman to share your feedback.
Sure. Yeah, thank you guys for the introduction, and it's hosted really well, by the way. So good on you guys. And for the teams, see, whatever I'm going to say, just take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, don't get too disheartened by what I'm going to say. Take it in a way that it's going to help you perform better next time. Okay. So I'll start off by TC1. Can I just have your names if you don't mind? Well, I finished marking, so it's not going to be partiality involved. So can I just have speaker one's name?
Hi, hello, ma'am. My name is Supriya.
Supriya, okay. Speaker two?
Hello, ma'am. I'm Kashish.
Kashish.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Kashish. Hi, guys. So, yes, I will start with Supriya's feedback first. I really like the way you presented. It was good. Very professional as well. Like your tone. Okay, all that's good. I liked your flow as well. Your flow of arguments were good. Had a good structure to it. And yeah, I just had one question. When you were speaking about transgenders being involved in the MTP, do you really think they have been explicitly excluded from the act, or you feel that the current legislation would not allow them to gain benefits from the current act?
Well, answer is yes or no, because A, we use any woman and her partner. So transgender, if they identify themselves as a woman, that's different. That will covered under the Transgenders Act. But then for this, we need a precedent So we need a broader interpretation by the judiciary for this to happen. So as of now, there's no case on this yet. So that was my thought of like.
Fair enough. There hasn't been a case for the judiciary to step up and, fair. I mean, I get your argument in that, no issues. Just one small mistake. You said Hussain Ara Khatun versus Union of Bihar.
I just said it and I realized,
no worries. It happens to all.
But I was wrong.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Don't worry.
Time was passing and I was speaking and I just forgot.
No issues. Don't worry. I didn't go against you. I didn't cut marks or something for that. No issues. For Kashish now. I liked your originality in arguments. It was good. I liked the structure and flow as well. And your research also was very good, Kashish, on your arguments and the cases or the laws that you were talking about was very good. Just one small thing I wanted to correct you on is never say something like, oh, the law is of no use. At some point, there was a line where you said law is of no use. Never say that. Say it in a different way. Probably say the law is a little redundant in these lines. If there's a law like this, it'll be redundant. So don't say like, oh, it's of no use. Right? Don't use such very negative.
I agree. Yeah, I agree to this, and it was also just out of flow. It was not, in my script, but I wasn't prepared for this. It was just out of flow.
No issues. I understand. You probably was, you were very passionate about the argument, and you're like, oh yeah, then no use. Yeah, no worries. One thing I wanted to point out for both of you is Speaker 1 mentioned about the statistics for unsafe abortion, right? And Speaker 2, you also repeated it. What I'm saying is don't repeat it, guys, because the time is getting wasted. Right? And if you want to talk about the same points again, probably Speaker 1 should have, made that statistic statement and said Speaker 2 will further on this. Something like that. Because both of you are repeating the same statement, right? At the end of the day, if you don't probably acknowledge the fact that you're doing it, right? So just make these small corrections so that it seems like you both are in more, more teamwork involved as well. Right, and just one final thing is that I feel there was not much emphasis on your sub-theme. Your sub-theme was constitutional implications of prioritizing women's rights over the rights of the unborn. So maybe you could have spoken more about how the constitutional articles can be interpreted in different ways, or whether the current interpretation itself is good enough to prioritize women's rights and why it's okay to prioritize them over the rights of the unborn. Right, so maybe look more into the constitutional aspects because that was your sub-theme. So and there's a lot of time. You have a very short time to make your points, right? So if you're going to talk about things which are not connected to your sub-theme, really, I mean, it feels like you haven't read the question right, or you're just like talking on the general aspect of things. Okay, that's fine. I have overlooked this. It's fine. Things happen like this. But next time when you're in the competitions, keep this in mind. Okay. Right, but yeah, overall, very good job, guys. Good job. And which year are you guys in?
Ma'am, I've just started my third year.
First year?
No, I just started my third year.
Third year. And Kashish?
Fourth year.
Fourth year. Okay, no worries, guys. You still have one more. You have 2 more years. You have 1 more year. You can definitely get better than all this. Okay, no worries. Good job. Good effort. Right. And yeah, TC02. Can I have your names, please? Speaker 1 and Speaker 2.
I'm Krati.
Pratina?
Krati Garg.
Pratigar?
Krati.
Krati. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got it very wrong. Speaker 2.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Ria.
Shriya.
Ma'am, Ria.
Ria. Yeah, I don't know. Probably hearing very badly today. Sorry. Okay. Speaker 2 guys, team 2 guys did well, very well. I liked what you had to offer for the theme and the sub-theme. And for Krati especially, I really liked the research involved in whatever you're speaking. Okay, the research and originality was spot on. I really liked it. Just one thing, just be more casual when you talk, because it little bit I felt like you're just reading off the script. Even if you are, it's fine if you're reading off it, but probably add more casual language to it so that the other person does not know you're reading it, right? So if even I have read off scripts, okay, when I'm taking part in modes, I've definitely done that, but add questions in between so that it feels like you're talking to them and just not presenting, right? Just do more of that. But yeah, I liked your flow, I liked your research, I liked the originality. Very good job. Speaker 2, Ria. I really like the way you present it. Very, very good tone and modulation to how you were speaking. Good job on that. And yes, your research and your flow and your originality were all spot on. Okay, really liked it.
Thank you.
And you guys did emphasize on the sub theme, so that's good on you. Yeah, that's about it. Good job, guys. Yeah, not much more to tell, but yeah. You guys have any questions, you can ask us. I'm done with the feedback, by the way. Shwetali can take over.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And now I request Shwetali ma'am to please give her feedback.
Yes, first of all, congratulations to all of you. Honestly, each group that presented today brought something unique to the table. Some of you beautifully balanced law and morality, while others expressed their ideas with so much clarity and confidence. Also, it was honestly a pleasure to listen to you, all of you, and commendable job, guys. Great work, great work. But as we reach to the end of this competition, I would like to share some thoughts. Like, you see, when you're working in a team of tuna, time management becomes crucial, very important. It's not just about finishing on time, it's about creating a structure where both the speakers get an equal chance to speak, contribute, right? You need to plan ahead and be very clear about who is speaking, saying what and when, right? And another thing I would like to point out is the importance of being clear, concise, and to the point. Sometimes we tend to add a lot of informations because we want to show everything we know, right? And I completely get that. But in competitions like this, what matters more is how you filter that information and how you highlight what's important and remove what's not needed, right? Also, remember, when you're making a strong claim na, or giving your opinion, it really makes a difference if you can back it up with evidence. Theory is important, definitely, yes, but theory is available in books and online, right? Then what makes your speech stand out is how you interpret that theory, research it deeply, and present it in a way like people should think, wow, I didn't know that, right? So, an elocution competition is not just about reading facts, right? It's about how well you articulate your research and how confidently you express yourself. And honestly, you all brought it today, right? Um, Also, what I loved the most was how each group had its own take on the topic. Some leaned towards legal reasoning, some brought in ethical angles, and some showed brilliant analytical thinking. And that's what's make this kind of platform so meaningful, so special, right? So yeah, once again, congratulations to all of you. You have made this final round extremely impressive, and I hope you all keep practicing, participating, and more importantly, keep speaking up. Okay? Yeah, thank you for having me here today, and wishing you all the best, guys.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those thoughtful and motivating words. I'm sure your feedback will stay with our speakers as a guiding light on their paths ahead. And now, the moment that we've been all waiting for, the results. The judges have made their careful and considered decision. It's my honor to now announce that speaker for the preliminary round goes to TC0301. Congratulations to TC0301. They're not present here. The best team for the semi-finals goes to TC02. A very heartfelt congratulations to TC02. The aspiring best speaker goes to TC0102. The best speaker, the winner team for the MLRC-WICCI Elocution Competition 2025 is TC02. Thank you. A very heartfelt congratulations to the team, and the eloquence you have shown. Now, the best researcher goes to TC0202, and also the best speaker goes to TC0202. Heartiest congratulations to all of you. You have not only showcased eloquent, but a fine grasp of the law, the constitution, and the pulse of society. And to all our participants, remember, standing here and speaking on a stage that demands both clarity and courage already makes you winners in every field. As we close, I extend my deepest gratitude to our respected judges for your time, your wisdom, and your encouragement. To every participant for your research, your words, and your unwavering spirit. To our mentors, Vaishnavi ma'am, Adrita ma'am, and Divya ma'am, the organizing team, NLRC, and WICCI for making this platform possible. And to everyone who joined us, watched, and supported. Thank you for believing that young voices matter. As we sign off today, let's remember the law is not static. Rights are not given once and for all. They are claimed, protected, and expanded by generations who dare to speak. May you all continue to speak in courtrooms, classrooms, or wherever truth needs a voice. Thank you all for being part of this journey. Congratulations once again, and may your words continue to shape a more just, equal, and compassionate world. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Thank you guys. It was nice seeing all of you. So
Thank you so
good luck with
much.
that.